You think you're chasing flow. You believe you're searching for that perfect moment when everything aligns, when your work feels effortless, when you're fully immersed in your task and time just slips away. You wake up each day hoping today will be the day you hit that sweet spot, your rhythm, your groove, your zone. You've read books about it, watched videos, maybe even tasted it in fleeting moments. Those rare times when you were completely in the present, when distractions vanished, when you operated at your peak and everything seemed to move through you, not against you. Yet you keep telling yourself the same story. I just need to find my flow. I just need to uncover my passion. I just need the perfect conditions, the ideal setting, the right moment when it all clicks. You're waiting for inspiration to strike like lightning. You're waiting for motivation to show up at your door. You're waiting for that magical state where work doesn't feel like work, where effort feels like a breeze, where you can ride a wave of pure momentum. But here's a truth that might shake you at first, yet set you free if you embrace it. You'll never find flow until you build discipline. There's a vast difference between waiting for flow and creating the conditions for it to emerge. One leaves you at the mercy of chance, mood, or circumstance. The other puts you in control of your own peak performance. Flow isn't something that just happens to you. It's something that flows through you when you've prepared yourself to channel it. Flow isn't a gift dropped from the sky. It's the reward for disciplined effort meeting opportunity. The world wants you to believe flow is random, that peak performance is a fluke, that some people are just naturally in the zone, while others are doomed to struggle. They profit from your confusion, from your endless quest for the secret to flow. They want you to keep buying their courses, their hacks, their shortcuts to instant flow states. They need you to think flow is something external you have to chase, not something internal you cultivate. They want you to believe there's a trick to unlock flow without the hard work of building discipline. But that's a lie, one of the biggest lies sold to those seeking excellence. Flow without discipline is like a river without banks. It's like music without structure or a fire without fuel. You have more potential for consistent flow than you've ever realized. You have more capacity for peak performance than you've been taught to tap into. But here's the key. Flow isn't a feeling you chase. It's a state you earn. It's not a mood you wait for. It's a skill you develop. It's not luck you hope for. It's a practice you refine through discipline. Today, we're not just talking about experiencing flow. We're talking about building the foundation that makes flow inevitable, about making peak performance your default, not a rare accident. Let me ask you something, and I need you to be honest with yourself. When was the last time you tackled something important, whether you felt like it or not? When did you last push through a task even when inspiration was nowhere to be found? When did you last grind through the tedious, unglamorous work that no one sees but everyone benefits from? When did you last practice something despite feeling unmotivated? When did you last uphold your standards, even when no one was watching? If these questions make you pause, you've just pinpointed why flow keeps slipping through your fingers. If they make you uneasy, that discomfort is showing you exactly what you need to work on. We live in a world obsessed with inspiration over preparation. Our culture celebrates the highlight reel while ignoring the grind behind the scenes. Society shows you the magic, but hides the mechanics, flaunts the results, but buries the process. We're bombarded with messages to follow your passion, wait for the right mood, or only work when you're inspired. But no one talks about what happens when passion isn't enough, when the mood never arrives, when inspiration is absent, but deadlines still loom. No one mentions that every master, every expert, every person you admire who seems to glide effortlessly through their work has built that flow on a bedrock of disciplined practice. They didn't find flow, they forged it. The musician who creates breathtaking music spent countless hours mastering scales. The athlete who moves with grace practiced basic drills until they became instinct. The writer who crafts captivating stories wrote millions of words that never saw the light of day. They seem to flow because they built the discipline that makes flow possible. Their effort looks effortless because it's so consistent, it's become second nature. Their performance feels natural because they practiced until discipline became automatic. But most people wait for flow before they commit to discipline. They want the reward without paying the price. They seek shortcuts to mastery instead of walking the path that leads there. They want a river without digging the channel, a garden without preparing the soil, a fire without gathering wood. But you're not most people. You're here because something inside you knows there's a better way. Something inside you is tired of waiting for flow and ready to start building it. That something is your potential, urging you toward discipline. It's your future self, demanding that you create the conditions for consistent peak performance. Flow isn't about feeling good. It's about performing optimally, no matter how you feel. It's not about being in the right mood. It's about being so prepared that mood becomes irrelevant. It's not about perfect conditions. It's about being so disciplined that you create your own perfect conditions. Let me redefine flow for you, because most people get it wrong. Flow isn't the absence of effort. It's the presence of effortless effort. It's not the absence of challenge. It's the perfect balance between challenge and skill. It's not the absence of structure. It's structure so ingrained, it becomes invisible. Real flow happens when discipline feels so natural, it no longer feels like discipline. It emerges when preparation is so thorough that performance becomes automatic. It's what happens when practice is so consistent that excellence becomes inevitable. Think about learning to drive. At first, every action demanded focus: steering, braking, checking mirrors, watching the road. It was exhausting, but through repeated practice, those actions became one seamless motion. You didn't wait for flow to drive, you built it through repetition. The same applies to any skill where you want to experience flow, whether it's writing, speaking, creating, or problem solving. Flow comes from discipline, not in spite of it. To build the discipline that creates flow, focus on 4 key elements. Master these, and you'll unlock the capacity for sustained flow states that others only dream of. First, consistency over intensity. Most people treat their work like a sprint. They wait for motivation, go all out for a few hours or days, then crash and take weeks to recover. They mistake intensity for discipline, confusing short bursts of effort with true commitment. But flow comes from consistency, not intensity. It's built by showing up every day, especially when you don't feel like it. It's forged through small, regular actions that compound into extraordinary results. The writer who writes 500 words daily will find more flow than the one who writes 5,000 words once a month. The musician who practices 30 minutes every day will flow more than the one who practices 5 hours once a week. Consistency breeds familiarity. Familiarity reduces mental strain, and reduced strain creates space for flow. Start small. 10 minutes of writing, 15 minutes of practice, 20 minutes of study. The goal isn't to achieve flow in those moments, it's to lay the groundwork that makes flow inevitable. Second, process over outcome. Flow is slippery. The harder you chase it, the more it escapes. When you fixate on results, on whether you're in flow, or on how others will judge your work, you create mental static that blocks flow. But when you immerse yourself in the process, the feel of your fingers on the keyboard, the sound of your voice, the rhythm of your movements, flow becomes possible. Shift your focus from "how am I doing" to "what am I doing?" Instead of worrying if you're good enough, ask if you're present enough. Practice process meditation. Focus on the sensory experience of your work. Feel the keys, hear the sounds, see the words take shape. If you're speaking, notice the vibrations in your throat. If you're creating, focus on the texture of your materials. Absorb yourself in the act, and flow will follow. Third, challenge calibration. Flow lies in the sweet spot between boredom and anxiety. If a task is too easy, you'll get distracted. If it's too hard, you'll feel overwhelmed. Flow emerges when the challenge stretches you just beyond your comfort zone, demanding your focus but not breaking you. Learn to adjust the difficulty of your work. If it's too easy, raise the bar. Set tighter deadlines, try new techniques, or tackle weaknesses. If it's too hard, break it down into smaller steps. Lower the stakes temporarily and build confidence through small wins. The discipline lies in honestly assessing your skill level and tweaking the challenge to keep you engaged without drowning you. Fourth, environmental design. Flow doesn't happen by chance. It happens by design. Your environment either supports focus or fractures it. Eliminate distractions. Put your phone away, close irrelevant tabs, clear your workspace. Then optimize your space for the type of flow you need. Soft lighting for creativity, bright light for analysis, or music for physical flow. Create rituals to signal flow time, like making tea, playing a specific song, or doing a quick breathing exercise. The discipline is in consistently setting up these conditions, even when it feels like extra work. These cues train your brain to switch into peak performance mode. Now here are daily practices to build the discipline that makes flow inevitable. Morning discipline rituals. Start each day with an act of self-control before distractions take over. Make your bed with precision, do a set of stretches, journal for 10 minutes, or read something educational. These small wins train your brain to prioritize conscious decisions over impulses, building the neural pathways for disciplined action. Structured work sessions. Work in focused time blocks. 25-minute Pomodoros or 90-minute deep work sessions. Stop when the time is up, even if you're on a roll. This trains your brain to focus intensely within boundaries. During these blocks, single task with complete devotion. If distractions arise, note them and refocus. Take real breaks between sessions. Move, hydrate, or rest your eyes to reset your mind for the next round. Progressive skill building. Flow requires growing skills to match growing challenges. Identify the core skills behind your work: vocabulary for writers, voice control for speakers, or precision for athletes. Dedicate time weekly to practice these fundamentals, even if it feels tedious. This unseen work builds the foundation for effortless performance later. Feedback integration. Flow thrives on honest self-assessment. After each work session, reflect what worked, what distracted you, what skills need improvement. Keep a performance journal to track when you work best, what tasks flow easily, and what conditions optimize your focus. Become a scientist of your own performance, making small adjustments to improve each session. You might feel resistance to this approach. Let's address it. This will kill my creativity. Wrong. Discipline doesn't stifle creativity, it frees it. Mastering the basics gives you the confidence to experiment. Jazz musicians learn scales to improvise freely. Your disciplined foundation will let your creativity soar. I work better under pressure. Last-minute pressure forces focus, but you can create that focus without the stress. Discipline lets you eliminate distractions and trust your preparation, giving you the same intensity without the chaos. I need flexibility, not structure. Discipline isn't rigid, it's adaptive. It's not about blind rules, but guiding principles. A disciplined foundation lets you take creative risks because you know you'll show up consistently. This is too slow. I need results now. Chasing quick fixes keeps you stuck. Discipline compounds over time, delivering faster, sustainable results. It's the long game that wins. What if I build discipline and still don't find flow? You're not building discipline to find flow. You're building it so flow emerges naturally. Even without the flow feeling, disciplined work produces high-quality results and the ability to perform regardless of mood. A superpower in itself. Here's the truth that will transform your approach. Flow isn't a destination. It's a skill you develop. It's not something you find. it's something you build. The musicians who glide through performances practiced until every note was instinctive. The athletes who flow through their sport drilled fundamentals until they were automatic. The writers who craft effortlessly wrote millions of unseen words. They didn't wait for flow, they built it. You have that same potential. You can create the conditions where flow becomes not just possible, but probable. But it starts with a shift. Stop waiting for flow and start building it. Stop chasing feelings and start forging foundations. Stop hoping for peak performance and start earning it through discipline. Here's my challenge. For the next 21 days, pick one area where you want flow and commit to disciplined practice every day. Not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient. Every single day. Write for 20 minutes each morning. Practice an instrument for 15 minutes, work on a skill for 30 minutes daily. Eliminate distractions, optimize your environment, focus on the process, and calibrate the challenge. Don't expect instant flow. Trust the process. After 21 days, you'll have more than fleeting flow states. You'll have a foundation for consistent peak performance. Don't stop at 21 days. Make it 30, then 60, then a lifestyle. Discipline isn't a temporary tool for flow. It's the bedrock of all excellence. You're not forcing flow. You're creating the conditions where it becomes natural. The flow you seek isn't out there. It's inside you, waiting to be unlocked. It's not a secret to uncover. It's a skill to build. It's not magic to receive. It's discipline to practice. You'll never find flow until you build discipline. But when you do, flow finds you. When you create the right conditions, flow becomes inevitable. Your journey starts now, not with waiting, not with hoping, but with building. The capacity for flow is already within you. The discipline to unlock it is your choice. Start now. The search for flow ends when the building begins.